Hey everybody, or hey guys, whatever. I'm pulling a Billy here, and I might as well record something while I'm driving, I guess. Probably not a good idea to do, but you know, especially for somebody like me who's not used to it, but fuck it. I'm just going to Home Depot because I want to get some, want to try some plant fertilizer on my, garden plants and stuff. But the thing I wanted to talk about was some of the topics that Rudy Post-Nostalgos went over in his most recent video, the 2-hour thing about the cats and Generation Alpha and stuff. And I guess I wanted to respond. I didn't watch the entire thing, but I watched good, like, half of it, probably. Half parts of it. And I guess I had the most to kind of say about the Generation Alpha kind of thing. Because, yeah, just a few days ago, I went to a birthday party for my younger cousin on my mom's side, whatever you want to say, my uncle's daughter, third daughter, I guess. I mean, it was for his birthday and her birthday, kind of. It wasn't on the exact day and all that. But, I think it was her 14th birthday, which would say to me that she was probably born in, like, 2000... She was probably born in, like, 2010, maybe 2009, so I think she'd be considered Generation Alpha, going by, at least if you look online, it says like 2010 to like 2020 or whatever. So I think she's technically in that generation. Not that it really matters at the end of the day. But she had a bunch of her friends there that are like of basically the same age, like 8 of them or whatever, and yeah, I don't really know what to get from, I didn't really interact with them that much. I was just kind of staying with the, you know, the quote-unquote, the adults that were there. But, from what I kind of observed, and I've been to another party from last year with her and her friends and everything. But yeah, I don't know. It's I guess it really doesn't matter that much how these people act when they're still young, I guess, because it's not really, just like with me, and just like everybody probably, like, kind of the way that you act when you're young isn't really a useful barometer or indicator of how you're going to act or change when you actually get out of the school system and stuff, when you actually, like, quote-unquote, grow up. So it's probably not that useful of a observation, but yeah, I don't know, they weren't exactly, like, when they were talking with each other and kind of, like, at the party, and I guess they went to the lake down there and swam for a while and stuff. They weren't on their phones, like, 24/7. But I guess when they were doing other stuff, like, my uncle kind of dragged them into his room to listen to his, like, really expensive stereo system and stuff, and he said something that they were, like, they're all just kind of disinterested, just, like, twiddling on their phones and stuff. But outside of that, they weren't really, like, on their phones constantly. And as Rudy said, as you said, Rudy, you know, go to a wait in some kind of office waiting room or whatever with a bunch of the boomers and shit, and they're doing the exact same thing that they accuse others of doing, which is not surprising. The boomers are I would almost call them the most unself-aware or the most like hypocritical generation in some ways, even though everybody's a hypocrite to a degree. But I think they're one of the most hypocritical, where they just like, oh yeah, you know, these people doing this, those damn millennials, those damn Gen Zers, those damn kids doing this on their phones, but then they do the exact same thing themselves. And yeah, you can totally observe that. I'm personally like you, where when I go out, I don't, like, I'm on the device at home, like, all the time, for the most part, when I'm at home. So, like, you know, the computer. So I don't see the necessity to be on the phone or whatever when I'm outside. Like, I kind of take that as take it as an opportunity to actually, you know, to actually take in the quote-unquote, the real world, quote-unquote, you know, as real as it gets, I guess. But to take in the environment and to observe things and stuff, observe the things around me. So I take that as an opportunity, not something to try to get away with, like on the, to escape from on the phone and everything. So that's just me. And like you, I just kind of observe what other people are doing while I'm around, like say in like a waiting room for something or whatever. Like recently I went to the dentist with my mom. She was getting some kind of like bullshit oral surgery stuff. And as I was in the waiting room, I was just kind of observing the various boom booms in there. And you know, as Matt has said, all they talk about is like the medical problems and shit. Like that's like their little thing that they love to talk about, is just constantly the medical issues and everything with each other. Just, you know, banal bullshit or whatever. Banal? But I don't know what the word is. Bullshit. But yeah, it's like I said, it's probably not useful at all as an indicator of how they will act when they quote unquote grow up. I don't know what you're doing. When they quote unquote grow up and stuff. But you know, I figured I'd just kind of give my observation while I was there. And yeah, I don't know. It's I don't really see them as, you know, like completely, you know, every generation is given like a worse kind of rap than the others or whatever. Like everyone is given a bunch of shit to some extent. Wow, I got here fast. Holy shit. That's crazy. I thought it took longer to get here, but I guess not. But yeah, I don't know. From my observation, they weren't really like. But that's how it was when I was a kid too. When I went to these parties, even though this was specifically a birthday party for one of their friends, it wasn't like me just going to one of the many birthday parties for various like uncles or aunts or whatever that my grandma on my dad's side would throw all the time. She was a party animal. She would be always throwing parties and shit. So it wasn't really like that where I was kind of just dragged along. Like they wanted to go there because they were invited by one of their friends at school, that being my cousin. So, but yeah, you know, they didn't. Some of them would interact with the adults somewhat, but it was mostly kind of like ignoring them or just kind of, yeah, that kind of shit. Just like you know, all those old people and all that kind of thing, which completely understandable, I guess. That's how I was as a kid to an extent. I was more of a shy, and I just kind of wanted to be left alone and play my like Game Boy games or whatever shit at the time. So yeah, I understand that. I don't know how I think they definitely care about the stuff like the social media and the TikTok, which I guess is kind of course, that's just kind of how, that's the thing that they were brought up on and all that. So you can't not expect that to an extent. Um, but yeah, they didn't seem that much different besides some of those quirks. Like, maybe certain things they're like maybe a bit like awkward or rude with certain things. Like, I don't know. Once again, this is probably how all kids are. Like, you got the cake cut or you got like desserts out or whatever. They're like, they kind of just wait for somebody else to serve them it or some shit, or they don't want to go up and get it themselves unless they're told. I don't know. I think that's what all kids probably how they kind of interact with the world and the other people at that age. So it's not that different, I don't think. Um, but yeah, I don't know how they're going to be when they get past that age where they get out of the school system and stuff. I don't know. And I hope that I'm. I would imagine that you are correct, even though there's nothing to really show for it, I guess, yet. Um, that they are more aware of things, and it does. You know, it makes sense that if they're supposed to be Generation Alpha, that's they're the kind of reset generation or whatever. There has to be some kind of meaning to that to a degree. It's not just there for fun. That it was like, oh yeah, we got the Gen Z. Even though, why do we start this late in the alphabetical cycle? We don't know. It's just, that's just how it is. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I hope for their sake, I guess, that they're more aware of these things. I mean, they've had to deal with some of this shit, so I figure that at least probably more percentage of them are gonna be like that, I guess. Um, And yeah, it probably will be the girls, because I think the girls are going to be the ones that are going to be getting the most fucked over, ironically, by the whole alphabet soup Olympics group and the that kind of stuff, the alphabet soup group and all that, and all this progressive shit. I think they're the ones that are definitely going to be the most harmed by it. Uh, and for the most part, the guys are just kind of like going along with everything. Just, they're going along with what the women are doing, which is not that much. But I think you're right in that the women are going to be the ones getting the most fucked over, and they are the ones, like, even though it doesn't seem like it, they're the ones being the most negatively affected overall from this entire thing. Um, so yeah, I'm not sure. And the cat thing, I kind of made my peace, but yeah, I've definitely noticed uh, a lot more how definitely noticed a lot more the pretty massive bias towards the dogs and against the cats to a degree, as well, just kind of just the kind of like realizing, like, logically, like, yeah, dogs, they are kind of like a lot different to the cats. Like, they need much more care and attention. They need much more babying. They are like big giant babies. They need all this attention. They need all this care. But cats, they just kind of do their own thing. They have some degree of autonomy and independence on their own. They could kind of survive. I mean, I don't know about ones that are completely house cats, but ones that are at least let out, I have a feeling like most of them would probably survive all right on their own, without human interference and stuff. Um, and about the synchronicities, I don't personally have the same synchronicities in this instance as you are, but I am noticing, like, that how much, I've kind of had it brought to my attention, the cats being so much different than the dogs, and the dogs being so much more babied and pampered by society and favored, even though there isn't really any reason for them to be. Um, but yeah, I think I mostly said, I can't really, at this moment, I can't exactly think of what else I was going to say on the topic, but that was kind of the main things. Um, so I guess I'll probably just do what I was gonna do here, and then go back home. I don't unless I think of something while I'm at the Home Depot and shit. Uh, this will probably be it, but I'll see, I guess. But anyway, if that is it for me, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and have a good one.